do any scrimmage work?
Yes.
Or is there,
yeah, we're going to scrimmage.
What
we're
do you
going to
want to see
tackle.
with full pads?
I want to see us finish things. It's hard to finish blocks and runs, and some of your execution is tough to finish. When you're in shorts or when you're in shells. So it gives us a chance tomorrow to demonstrate the ability to finish runs, finish plays, to tackle, to see if we can really tackle. I think it'll make a difference maybe in the tempo of some things, but the defense will be able to swarm with a purpose, to run to the ball with a purpose. So a lot to look for tomorrow when we get pads on. It also gives us a chance to start working on cut blocking and playing the cut block. And that's going to be really important to us on both sides of the ball.
Last year when you started camp, you had no experience in the secondary. Now you've got a ton of it. Is the group right now playing like they have a lot of experience?
I think so. I think so. I think they're playing like a veteran group, and we have some backup guys that are promising, that have a little bit of experience. So we have certainly more numbers, more experience. So some accomplished players, and I think we're much further ahead. I think where we ought to be. So very pleased with it at this point. The pass rush will dictate a lot what happens back there. You manufacture a good pass rush with a good secondary, then you can go out there and defend the pass. If you don't have a good pass rush, you can have a great secondary, and you won't defend the pass. So the pass rush will dictate a lot how the secondary goes. No questions about that. And we have the potential to be a good pass rushing defense. I see some good signs out there. We're working James Shepard and Kenny Plew. We're working Rick Schmeig and Eric McDaniel, and then sometimes we'll slide Nick Mondek in there. That's our top 5 guards right now.
Is Schmeig healthy?
Yes.
Because there's been a lot said about replacing Ryan and Jason on the defensive side of the ball, but who are you looking to from just a leadership standpoint to step up, especially now that you guys go full pads?
I think our leadership for our football team potentially could be very strong. I think that could be one of our strong suits in some ways. I think Joe Holland is an excellent leader. I think he leads by example, and I think he knows our mission statement and has bought into it and knows how to deliver the right message. I think Joe Holland is a very, very strong leader for us on the defensive side of the ball. Our seniors, Gerald Good and all of our seniors over there, and then certainly Kawan Short as well.
Is this where you really see who's going to be the leaders once you kind of strap on the pads and start going full motion?
Well, that sounds good, but you'll find out who the leaders are when they get tired and it gets hot and when they don't want to go. That's when you'll find out who the leaders are. They'll all be okay in the beginning when we put the pads on. We'll see who wants to go towards the end of it.
Other than your quarterbacks, will there be anybody off limits as far as getting hit or tackled tomorrow?
I don't think so. I really like what I'm seeing out of our running backs. We have very good running backs. I really like what I'm seeing out of Akeem Shavers. He is physical and he's fast and he's reliable. Ralph looks like he hasn't missed a beat. He looks exceptional. And I really like Jared Crank and Reggie Pegram. They're physical runners or physical blockers. Reggie Pegram has really improved. He and Crank both are doing very well, very well. I like our running backs. I like where our run game is at. The fact that we have some quarterback run plays manufactured in our master plan, from a running game standpoint, I think it really adds to what we got going on. The better our running game gets, then the more effective we can become as a passing football team. We're still very inconsistent passing the football. Sometimes we don't protect as well as we need to. I think we can, but we're not there yet. Sometimes we don't throw it as well as we need to. We can, but we're not there yet. And sometimes we don't get open and catch the ball as well as we need to, but I think we can get there. We're behind in the passing game from where we want to be. I like where we're at in the running game. I like our defensive tackles. I think we're really strong at the defensive tackle position. I think Gerald Gooden is much better than he was this time last year. He's a bigger, stronger Gerald Gooden and a healthier Gerald Gooden, and that's a good sign. I think our linebackers are much improved from this time last year. So I'm encouraged.
Back to Reggie, do you see him as a fullback or a tailback, or if he can be in both those positions?
I think he can play both of those positions. Right now with Ralph and Akeem, I think they're both doing very well to run at the halfback position, if you will. So we use Reggie more as a fullback, but in my mind right now he'd be our third tailback if we got that far. And then we also can play Antavian Edison back there some. He can make you miss and do some things with the football, but we have some physical running backs that can make you miss in space, that have speed, and that's exciting. I like what I see from the running back position.
Have you been able to survive these first few days without any major injuries?
Yeah, I think so. I have to think for a minute and make sure. I think we're okay. You know, we didn't practice Marv today. You know, he has some swelling and you know, again, there's some concerns there. I think everything's going to be okay, but we have to back off of him sometimes. He's been doing very well. Today, Turbush got a lot more reps, and he has done very well. Yeah, he is certainly competing, and we're very fortunate right now to have three very talented quarterbacks, and I really like what I'm seeing out of Caleb Turbush. Very excited about him. He's probably passing the ball the best out of all of them right now.
Josh Johnson had a foot injury or something?
Well, he's got. Well, we never lost him. He has a foot issue. That's one of those things that you have to manage over a period of time, and then if you can manage it well, then he'll be able to play. But you have to manage it. If it sneaks up on you and it gets worse and he has to miss some games or some playing time somewhere, that would be of some concern to us. So that's why we took Namondo Harris, because we're not exactly sure what Josh's stats will be from week to week. So far, he's been very good. But foot injuries are funny, and we haven't had the best of luck, with some foot injuries. So I'm going to make sure we got one of our best players over there, and that's Namondo Harris, and we're going to get him ready to go. So we have 3 number 1 corners in case one of those number 1 corners go down. We still have 2, and that's what it takes.
I'm taking Harris away, and I know you talked about this a couple days ago. I apologize. So then who's kind of moving into the 4th receiver slot?
Well, we have different, personnel groupings and formations. But if you had to name your top receivers, obviously it'd be Justin Siller and Antavian Edison and O.J. Ross and Gary Bush. All those guys are doing very, very well. Gabe Holmes, he keeps getting better and better. He's better yesterday than any point in time since he's been here, and he showed up again and looked fantastic again today. We have plenty of firepower at the receiver position, so that enabled us to move Namondo back. I had referenced that earlier, a couple months ago, that we had some depth if we had to move some people around. I used that A-back spot as an example. I probably jinxed it, but it, what I talked about came true. We needed a guy. We took him from the A-back spot. We still got plenty of players there, so we're going to be okay. I like what I'm seeing out of Raheem Mostert. I think he can help us this year.
A couple weeks ago, your players posted some very impressive 40 times. Do you see an increase in speed on the practice field this year?
There's no question. I don't have the numbers with me. We're not allowed to have the results. I have some generalizations. I think we had maybe 10 guys that ran 4.5 flat or faster. So let's say it was a fast track that day. We have at least 10 guys that can run in the mid 4.5s or faster, and that's a good sign. So I think we've probably at least quadrupled the number of guys on our football team, maybe 4-fold the number of guys on our football team that have good sprinter type speed. We're a much faster football team now than we were a couple years ago.
Why aren't you allowed to look at the 40 times?
Well, because they do it during a workout period during the year that's voluntary. If they showed you the 40 times of everybody on the football team, it'd be like you're taking a roll. They can give you some generalizations. We have so many guys that ran 4.5, or the average bench press on the O-line is, but you can't give you individual results all consolidated and collated where you can see who's been here and who hasn't. It's an NCAA thing.
You guys said Ralph is back to where he was before the injury?
I think he looks fantastic. I don't think he's missed a beat. I think he looks fantastic. He's really quick and really fast. And we were in shells today. They weren't supposed to tackle him. Somebody tackled him anyway, and he held up just fine. And so we're in good shape with Ralph. Thank goodness, because he's a heck of a player. A lot of good stuff.
Thanks, Dan.